Hello students, this is Miss Dalton and we are going to talk about the different forms of quadratic functions. Our goals for this video is we're going to recognize the various forms of a quadratic function, we're going to recognize the information given in each of the forms of a quadratic function, identify transformations that occur to the graph of a quadratic function when compared to the parent function, y equals x squared, and determine the axis of symmetry, vertex, and direction of the graph of a quadratic function in any form. So far we've only talked about vertex form for a quadratic, and so there are two other forms that we're going to discuss in this video. The three types of forms for a quadratic. We have the standard form, which looks like y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. We also have the vertex form that we have talked about in the previous video, y equals a times x minus h quantity squared plus k. And then we also have what's called the intercept or the factored form, which looks like this, y equals a times x minus r1 and times x minus r2, where r1 and r2 are both numbers and they're going to end up being your intercepts. So let's just kind of review what we learned about the vertex form of a quadratic. If it opens up, that means that your a is greater than 0 or it is positive. If it's opening down, then your a is going to be negative. The vertex is at the point hk. The axis of symmetry is the line that has the equation x equals h. And each value transforms the graph of the parent function. Remember that a causes a vertical stretch or shrink. Compression is another word for shrink. H causes a horizontal shift, and then k causes a vertical shift. So now let's explore standard form. The first thing is that the a still determines whether or not it opens up or down. So if a is positive, it's going to open up. If a is negative, it opens down. Now this is something new. The y-intercept is at the point 0, c. And so c represents your y-intercept, and that kind of makes sense if you plug in a 0 for x. So if you plug in a 0 for x here, then you will also have it, if you plug in a 0 for x here, that's going to give you 0, and then if you plug in an x here, that's going to give you 0, and so the y value is going to be just that c, which represents your y-intercept. The x-coordinate of the vertex can be found by using this equation. X equals the opposite of b over 2a. Notice that I said the opposite of b because it is the negative of b. So if b is negative, that numerator is going to be a positive. And so you'll see this in just a minute, but you're going to plug that x into the original equation to find the y-coordinate. So this formula right here gives you the x-coordinate, and then once you get the x-coordinate, you're going to have to plug it into the equation to get the y-coordinate. So let's look at an example of standard form. So there's 3 steps that you're going to use to graph a parabola in standard form. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to find the axis of symmetry. Now remember, the axis of symmetry is just the x-coordinate of the vertex. So this formula that we use to find the x-coordinate of the vertex can also be used to find the axis of symmetry. So we're going to have x equals the opposite of b over 2a. Our second step, we're going to find the vertex. And so once we found that x-coordinate, then you'll just plug it in to the equation so that you can get your y-coordinate. Step 3, you want to find other points and reflect them across the axis of symmetry and then connect the points with a smooth curve. Now, one thing that you can use in this is that in standard form, c is always the y-intercept. So you can use this value as one of your points so that then you can get the symmetric or the reflected point, and that will give you your 3 points. Alright, so let's look at this example, the y equals 2x squared minus 4x minus 1, but let's follow the steps. So step 1 was to find the axis of symmetry. And so when you look at the axis of symmetry, of course, that's going to be, we're going to use that formula, x equals the opposite of b over 2a. So this is my a value, this is my b value, and this is my c value. So if I'm going to do the opposite of b, which is that -4, then you can see that that's going to change to a +4. And then do 2 times a, well, a is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, and so that's where I got this value right here of x equals 1 for the axis of symmetry. Graph that on your graph and it'll be the dotted line that just showed up. And then now our vertex. So after we have found that x coordinate for our vertex, then now what we want to do is we want to plug it into the equation. So we're going to have y equals, we're going to have 2 times that 1 value squared minus 4 times 1, and then minus 1. And so we're going to simplify that out. Y equals 1 squared is 1, 1 times 2 is 2, then 4 times 1 is 4, so we're going to have a -4, and then we're going to have that -1. So you can see that's how I got the value of -3, because 2 minus 4 is -2, and then -2 minus 1 is that -3. So that's going to be where I get this value right here. And then you'll go ahead and graph that vertex. Okay, step 3 is to find another point. Now remember, one thing that you can do is use the y-intercept. The y-intercept is at -1. So we're going to use that as our second point. And then we're going to use the reflection of the y-intercept for our third point. Once I get that, then I can use my pencil to go ahead and sketch the parabola. Now let's look at intercept form. Intercept is of that form up above, and so the a value still represents whether it opens up or down. But the x-intercepts, which are also called roots, zeros, or solutions, we can use all of that academic vocabulary to represent the x-intercepts. The x-intercepts are going to be at R1 and R2. The axis of symmetry, because if you think about it, the x-intercepts, if they are R1 and R2, the vertex should be right in the middle of those, and so to get the axis of symmetry, we're going to use this formula right here. X equals R1 plus R2 divided by 2. And then, of course, the vertex is going to be on the axis of symmetry. So once you have found the x coordinate, then you will plug it in to get the y coordinate. All right, so let's look at this example. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to try and graph at least 3 points. But we do need to find out what the axis of symmetry is and the vertex. The x-intercepts are -3, 0, and 1, 0, and we get that from right here. It's going to be the opposite of this number and the opposite of this number. That's going to represent our x-intercepts. So I'm going to graph those here and here. And then you can see that in the middle of these two x-intercepts, it would be this x value right here, which is -1. But if you can't see that, if it ends up being a decimal or something, just remember to use that formula, R1 plus R2. So take -3 plus 1, that gives you -2, divide it by 2, and that gives you that -1. And so therefore we know that the x value of my vertex is at -1. But now we need to plug it into the equation to figure out what our y value is. So if I take this -1 and put it in here, then you will see that you will get -1 plus 3 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. And then if you have -1 minus 1, that gives you -2. So then we have 4 times -2, which gives you that -8. And there's my vertex. Last thing you would want to do is you need to go ahead and draw in your parabola. Again, I'll just try and draw the best sketch that I can. And there we go. Okay, I'm going to give you this example here, and I want you to see if you can, well, I'm going to back up. See if you can figure this out. So a golf ball is hit with an initial upward velocity of 64 feet per second off a 6-foot high platform at a driving range. How long does it take the ball to reach the maximum height, and what is the maximum height? So take a second, and I want you to figure out, just try and draw an initial picture of this, and pause the video, and then once you've got a picture of what's going on, then let's go ahead and look at how to work this example. So pause the video now. Okay, so hopefully you were able to draw a picture of what this is going to look like. The equation that and I would have given you this equation, the equation is y equals -16x squared plus 64x plus 6. Again, I would give you that equation, but you want to look at, okay, how could I find the maximum height? Well, the maximum height is going to be the vertex, so that means you've got to find the vertex for this function. The x-coordinate of the vertex can be found by doing the opposite of b over 2a, so you can see that the, let me get the laser pointer, sorry. You can see that the x value is going to be 2, and then when I plug in 2 to the original equation, then that gives me my y value of 70. So it's asking two questions here. It says, how long does it take the ball to reach the maximum height, and what is the maximum height? Well, how long is going to be the time, and that's going to be your x-coordinate, which would be 2 seconds. And then what is the maximum height? Well, that is your y value of the vertex, and the maximum height is going to be 70 feet. So we'll talk about this more in class, but just please have these notes written down so that I can direct you back to them as you're working on examples in class.